Okay, so today we're going to extend on our knowledge of solving equations and expanding brackets. So we're going to solve equations which have got brackets in them. So what we're going to do is, let's have a look at our first problem. We have got 3 times a plus 3 equals, sorry, that should be close brackets, equals minus 3. So this is our first kind of problem. We're going to use our method for expanding the brackets. We're going to multiply everything that's in the bracket by 3. So we're going to do our grid method multiplication, contents of the bracket along the top, and number outside the bracket down the side, split it into its letter term and its numbers term. So then we've got 3 times a is 3a, 3 times positive 3 is positive 9. We're now going to rewrite our equation, but we're going to rewrite this side as 3a plus 9, and that's going to equal minus 3. Now what we've got to do is work out what the a is. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to have to subtract 9 to get the 3a's by itself. If I subtract 9 from this side, I've got to subtract 9 from the other, and that gives us 3a equals minus 3. If we take away 9, it's going to get more negative, minus 12. And then I've got to get what 1a is, so we're going to get there by dividing by 3. So that means that a, if we divide both sides by 3, is going to equal, well, 12 divided by 3 is 4, so minus 12 divided by 3 is going to be minus 4. Okay. Next question looks very similar. We've got 4 and then b minus 8 in brackets, and that equals 24. So again, we are going to multiply out the brackets. b minus 8, 4 down the side. 4 times b is 4b. 4 times negative 8, well, that's going to be negative 32. We're going to rewrite this side of our equation as 4b minus 32, and that's going to equal 24. Then, to get rid of the negative 32, we're going to have to add 32 onto both sides. So that's going to leave us with 4b equals 24 plus 32, it's 56. And then, to work out what 1b is, we're going to have to divide both sides by 4. So that means that b is going to equal 14. Yes. Okay. Now let's think about what might happen if we had, rather than something positive, something negative outside the brackets. So we could have something like minus 2c, and then minus 2, and then inside the brackets c minus 10, and that could equal 6. Okay, so this time when we multiply out our bracket, again the contents of the bracket along the top, c minus 10, split it into its letters and its numbers, and then down the side we've got minus 2 this time because we've got negative 2 outside of the brackets. Negative 2 times c is negative 2c. Negative 2 times negative 10, a negative times by a negative is a positive, so this will become positive 20. I can rewrite out my equation, changing this side to minus 2c plus 20 equals 6. Now, I don't like the fact that this bit here is negative. So when I get round to solving this, the first thing I'm going to do, if I've got a negative in front of the letter that I'm looking for, is I'm going to add this bit to both sides. I'm going to add 2c to both sides. This leaves me with 20 on this side, and this side will now become 6 plus 2c. Now I'm going to get these two c's that are positive by themselves, so I've got to get rid of the 6 that's with them. Minus 6 from both sides. We're now left with 14 equals 2c. And then to work out what 1c is, I'm going to have to divide both sides by 2. So 7 equals c, or we could say that c equals 7. Both sides are the same, so we could write what's on each side of the equal sign the other way round. Okay, and then onto one of the slightly more challenging questions that we could face. We've got something which has got a fraction in as well. So we've got 6 and then in brackets 4d plus 5, and that is all in the top of a fraction with a denominator of 4, and that's going to equal 9. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this fraction bit. And to do that, I'm going to multiply both sides by the denominator. So my first step here is going to be to times both sides by 4. That leaves me with just the numerator part of the fraction, 6, and then in brackets 4d plus 5, and now I've got to multiply 9 by 4, which is 36. We've now got a problem like the ones we've looked at previously today, where we've got to multiply out the bracket. What's inside the bracket goes along the top, and the thing we are multiplying it by down the side. Split it into its letter terms and its whole numbers. So 6 times 4d, well 6 times 4 is 24, so that's going to be 24d, and 6 times 5, 30. I can now rewrite this equation as 24d plus 30 equals 36. Then I'm going to have to subtract from both sides. I'm going to have to subtract the 30 from both sides. So that tells us that 24d is going to equal 6. And then I'm going to have to divide both sides by 24. Now this may look a little bit horrible, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of it as 6 over 24, and we can simplify this fraction. 6 goes into 24 4 times, so we can simplify this fraction by dividing both 6 and 24 by 6, which gives us a quarter, or if we want that as a decimal, 0.25.